All right, Smoke Dragon. Very interested and not surprised. Craft beer, you're out. Tell us a little bit more.
Well, it's been a few weeks ago now, but I had to go to Tampa for work there a few weeks ago. And we went to a place, we ate at the same place 2 nights in a row because it was in the parking lot.
Applebee's?
Whiskey Wings is what it was called.
Oh.
Probably Applebee's-esque. At any rate, so we want to go someplace different. We get recommended this Tampa brew house tap room thing.
Yeah.
And we go over there. And I was a little skeptical that there'd be anything. And sure enough, they don't sell domestics. Like there's not a...
What?
There's not normal people beer.
Not a Busch Light to be had.
No. And there wasn't down there in Florida. I mean, I had to go with some Bud Lights or Mick Ultras, you know. And every time I go to someplace, I think, you know what, Dave? Just suck it up. Fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, no, we don't have domestics. What do you like? I'm a Busch Light guy. Okay, what else
Well,
you
let
like?
me go get some tap water out of the bay.
Or Natty Light. Natty Light's good. And they're like, well, we got this, you know.
They sell you on something that's not
India,
even freaking close.
Pale Peach Summer Blues. It's a light, and you'll like it. And I try it, and it's shit. And I know it wasn't my thing. And then I'll try the next one. No, it wasn't my thing. But nothing about me wants anything to do with craft beer. And I was like, what do you mean you don't like an IPA or whatever you call all these damn things? Like even down there in town, like I've gone down and tried theirs down yonder. And like I want to be able to go to a place where regular people go and everybody knows your name. But they got to sell Busch Light or Natty Light or something. I mean, you got to work with a fella. Like, what is the harm in selling an Anheuser-Busch product just because you're your own beer? Because I don't think it's all their beer. It's not like they're back there squashing hops in the backyard between their toes or something. I think they're just bringing them in from other places in Florida, so they're still distributing.
Squashing hops.
You know what I mean, or whatever.
It doesn't work that way.
I think that's what they do with grapes.
Well,
when they're making
a lot
wine.
of it smells like a foot.
Making wine.
When that fruit, sweet berry wine.
Glug,
Well, I'm
glug.
not sure it's 12 inches, but it smells like a foot.
I'll tell you one thing. So I don't know. I absolutely. So I struggle to get down with some. I don't. So like those real danky IPAs, like the real super danky ones.
Now, see, I don't even know what that means.
Like danky means like real hoppy.
It's
real.
A lot of times it's the
bitter
citra hops.
Like the bitter just hits you right in the jowls, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, dries your mouth out, tastes like shit. You know, I don't really like those. But there's people out there that literally, and obviously the higher IBU, which is like your dankiness.
Now, see, they had IBUs and some other weird
right.
number.
So like your IBUs is that, and then like obviously your ABV is going to go through the roof. The dankier it gets, the higher your drunkiness is going to get. And I don't get down on that shit. I'm a big sour beer guy.
Now, what is there like a brand that's sour beer? Like what I do?
Oh, the best sour beer.
I like Urban Artifact. That's a brewery out of
never
Cincinnati.
Janelle likes them. Our friends at Bob's Liquor's got them.
They sell
They
sell
have
that.
a good selection.
Gosh dang, who makes Sour Monkey?
That's
a
like an Athens Brewing.
I'm not sure what the brand is, but there's a traditional, like a Sour Monkey. That's a sour. It's a saison. It's like it's probably like a 9.5 or a 10%er, but you would hate it. You know what I mean? You would hate it.
I really like Busch Light.
I know, and you would hate it, but like I can some IPAs I can dabble in. Like I like Three Floyds, like Space Station Middle Finger,
Yeah.
or the Zombie Dust. Some of those citrus IPAs.
I used to dabble with an Amber Bock. That's a dark beer.
Yeah,
in my
I
opinion.
mean, Amber Bock is
darker than Busch Light.
wouldn't call it craft, but I wouldn't call it
I guess I don't mean craft beer. I mean anything that's not
Busch Light or Bud or
like
Natty
Natural
Light.
Budweiser, like a diesel. You know, every once in a while you
Yeah.
throw a diesel.
A good
down,
solid
you know.
red label.
Yeah.
When you could just chew the beer.
Yeah.
Casey's all in.
Well, see, you're going to paint that picture, Picasso.
He's a dark beer guy, though.
Now,
Casey
see,
likes
'cause
those
that
real
one feller left these weird ass things, and
Yeah.
they always got messed up looking cans. I don't know what it is. And
gumball head, isn't it?
Gumball Head's a
No.
wheat beer.
Yeah.
This ain't Gumball Head in there. I
No.
don't think it's like
Neighbor Doug, fetch one of them blue cans out of there. Let's see what we got.
maybe one of those Natty Light cans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in the middle shelf there. Kind of got to dig around. Probably got buried in the mix there. See what we got here.
Oh, the 3 Floyds
Yeah.
Jinx Proof Lager.
Yeah, hell, give me that sumbitch. I'll try to give her a whirl here. But yeah, Three Floyds is a very reputable brewery from Muncie, Indiana.
No, Munster, Indiana.
Munster,
Oh,
Indiana.
I would have thought Clarksville, neck of the woods, because of the Floyds.
So they actually do some limited run sours that literally smell like vomit. Like
So
it's
what kind of beer
it's a wort, like a sour wort,
Yeah.
like a wort sour, and those
That
things.
smells like a beer.
Take a big gulp.
And that's a beer,
Yeah,
buddy.
that's
You know what I
beer.
mean? Like that's a craft beer right there that you're drinking. See, you know,
That's
and
a lager, though. That's not
Yeah.
even got the hops and
I
stuff.
don't like it. It's
It's not natural light or Busch Light.
that tastes like Stella Artois. Take a
No,
horn
I
off
drank
that.
Stella Artois,
Yep.
and it don't taste like that.
That's a Belgian lager. Tell me that don't taste like Stella.
Very close.
Yeah.
Really?
See what I mean? Now Justine really likes a Stella Artois.
No, I'll drink Stella's at Clyde's house. He's got
Yeah.
Stella's there.
For sure. So there's, and you know, Dave, a lot of times people just, you know, you don't want to veer off the path. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's
I'm
okay.
I'm a beer snob. I know that I am.
Yes, you are. And I know another beer snob, a guy that's near and dear to my heart, my own father-in-law. Absolutely will only drink one type of beer, and it has to be out of the certain vessel as well.
The bottle.
It has to be out of a bottle. Like it, I mean,
He a Bud Light bottle guy?
100%. Even through thick and thin. Through thick and thin. Through thick and thin.
Thick and thin.
Yeah, I don't know. Like then I feel bad. Like you go to this place that sells beer and everybody's getting beers and
You get a
everything.
water?
I get a water.
Just like we go to this one place down there in that shithole, and they got the best
Oh, yeah.
fresh seafood in the world. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'll have a salad. What? Yeah, you know,
That's my go-to.
some
if it's not
guys
my thing.
just, you know,
I
I don't know if you call it not cultured, but some guys are just
They know what they like, and
Simple
that's what they're
man.
going to stay.
They're simple man.
I had a buddy in college lives over in Illinois now, fan of the program. He was a Bud Light guy through and through. Like, we'd go to the Fox and Hound, and they do $2 pints on,
That
like,
was-
all beers,
that was
$2.
an awesome place.
And he'd be Bud Light every
See,
time.
your ABV's at a 5.7 at that lager.
Oh, okay. I bet this is like a 3.7 or
It's
4
probably
or 5.
a 4.1 or 4.2 probably.
4.2.
that-
4.2.
Yeah.
4-2, yeah.
So a lot of times you're, and so if you guys want to get real nutty, so Urban Artifacts, they make some 10 and 13 percenters. They make one that's called Astronaut Food that comes in like a,
Freeze dried.
you know, like the little Coca-Cola mini cans, you know, like the
Yeah.
little mini cans.
Yeah.
It's about a 16 or 18 percenter.
Yeah.
And
The,
it's not even a full 12 ounces. And that shit will knock your dick off.
So
Like
when I
that
was-
stuff is gnarly.
When I was in law school, I was in Grand Rapids, voted Beer City, USA. They have a little place called Founders,
Mm-hmm.
and you see a lot of more Founders around here now. But that's where I kind of started drinking it because it's like a cultural thing up there. And so that's where I got into it. And they, all kinds of stuff. They'd get into these double and triple IPAs, black IPAs. They'd have rye. They'd have all kinds of stuff. But my favorite beer up there is a breakfast stout,
Mm-hmm.
which has got kind of like
It's like
it's
milk.
darker. It's got like it's super dark, but it's got like a little bit of coffee taste to it. And it's like 8.3, but I enjoy them. I don't drink them as much, and I've got a bad habit of buying them in 6-packs, and then I'll drink one or two, and
Just
then
let the other one sit.
and it really pisses my wife off.
So
But
those Urban Artifacts, that the astronaut food, it's got an ABV of 15%. I stand
Okay,
corrected, but it's a
okay.
blackberry and raspberry astronaut
blackberry
food.
wine.
And it's a fruited sour. So like most of those sours that I really enjoy the one that's a blackberry tart called the Gadget, and it's a blackberry fruited sour. So it's more of like it almost tastes like
Sounds like a titty bar.
beery wine. Like it's very thick, and it like so. Another thing that's wild about these craft brews are they give you like basically a serving temperature, like what you're supposed to serve, like the temperature you're supposed to serve it at, and like all kinds. You know how they do the wine and they got the legs and all that shit. Like this whole craft beer world and the sour stuff. It's
Dave
got
doesn't drink a wine that's got legs, and you got
I know.
to breathe.
But I mean, there's
Yeah, I like the Walmart $5 bottle.
there are beer snobs worse than you, my friend.
I just like black coffee, light beer, and white bread with bologna. You know what I mean? Like,
Especially if it's Merkley's
Amen.
bologna.
Preach, brother. Preach.
Yeah. Well, different strokes for different folks.
Amen.
But I haven't been up to that establishment on 4th Street in a little while, but I do like going in and having a couple. I do. But, it's just one of those things.
that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just something I was meant to bring up the other
Now,
week.
what did you have you ever dabbled in the Upland Brewing Company?
Mm-mm.
Bloomington, Indiana's own.
Yep. So Upland, do you guys you like Upland, don't you?
I've had
Like
they
their
actually
wheat, like their Upland wheat.
so they
their
did for
traditional
the
wheat?
Corn Ferry Tour Championship this year. They did a birdie beer
Yeah.
that was featured.
Yep.
That was a very light wheat beer,
Mm.
and it did pretty well. It's good, but yeah, they got some good things.
I like their stuff too. Yep.
So